So you've been written off. People have written off your intelligence. They've downplayed your potential for an opportunity. They've questioned your spirituality. Or is it the consequences of an action that you have committed? Have they written off your marriage? Have they said you deserve something that's none of their business, really? We all go through situations like this, and I'm here to tell you that God is not finished with you yet. And we'll believe His report and not the report of the naysayers. Today's study will focus on Matthew chapter 9, verses 23 to 25, where Jesus raises Jairus' daughter from the dead. So, first subheading: people are more welcoming of your bad news than your good news. At the start of Matthew chapter 9, Jesus had been summoned to heal a girl who was very ill. But by the point he got there, she was dead. Let's read Matthew chapter 9, verse 23. When Jesus entered the synagogue leader's house and saw the noisy crowd and people playing pipes, now it is Jewish tradition to play pipes during times of mourning. Here the girl is not even that long dead, but the funeral procession has already begun. He questioned how deep their sorrow even was, because they seemed to momentarily recover to laugh at Jesus whenever he declared to them that she was not dead. It's innate in us as human beings. We hate bad news for ourselves, but we readily embrace that bad news for others. When you do well, it's up to you to spread the news yourself. You end up in court for theft within 24 hours. The whole world knows, except half of them heard you in court for murder, of course. You get off with the charges. It's then up to you to make those announcements for yourself. Your bad news spreads much faster than your good news. So be careful who you confide your bad news in. There are those who will carry the burden with you, who genuinely feel it for you, but there are very few. Most of the people who want to surround you in times of tragedy just want a front row seat to witness your demise and probably to report it on. This world will be quick to tell you that all is lost, while He comes to bring hope. Heading number 2, the power of the declaration of our lips. Now, Matthew 9, verse 24, Jesus said, He said, "Go away, the girl is not dead, but asleep." But they laughed at Him. The girl was dead, but Jesus chose to view things spiritually and declared God's vision of events. And sometimes we need to do that in our own lives. A family member is sick, we declare they are well. A friend has an addiction, we declare he is delivered. Circumstances look bleak, we declare prosperity. We declare God's vision of events, and we believe just as Jesus taught us in this passage. And heading number 3, who is in your room? Now, Matthew chapter 9, verse 25 says, after the crowd had been put outside, He, that's Jesus, went in and took the girl by the hand, and she got up. Now, once a friend of mine had cancer. He wasn't that young, but some might say too young to die. He was quite a popular guy, so once news of his sickness hit, their house was swarmed with visitors every day, until he got too weak to accept these visitors anymore. But all these visits were very depressing. People come to see him for one last time. And most of them were non-believers, so for me, I felt like you weren't even allowed to say that you're believing for a miracle without starting a war of words. And look, he died after a swift, intense battle with cancer. But I always wondered how things would have gone if there were different people in the room believing. We see in the passage here, even the Son of God had to get rid of the negativity of certain people in the room before he could pray and believe for a miracle. And we had noticed Jesus didn't even pray. The negative people left the room, Jesus held her hand, she woke up. So who is in your room today as you believe in God for miracles? Are there doubters? Are there envious eyes? Are there non-believers who want your prayers to fail because it affirms their agenda? God will do a mighty work in your life. He will resurrect areas you thought were dead. He will open doors you thought were closed. But you gotta be careful who is in your room, who you're associating with, and who you're confiding in as well. Who are you allowing to access you? Who is in your room today? It's something you need to seriously consider for God to have His way, His good way in your life, even.